In the second year of reconciling with Xiang, he cheated again. In the second year after reconciling with Xiang, he cheated on me again with the same woman as 3 years ago. When I ran into them at a restaurant, he hurriedly explained she was a client and instinctively shielded her behind him, full of alert, afraid I would lose control and make a scene. But I just stepped forward, gently straightened his messy tie, and said softly, "I know. Don't drink too much. And remember to take safety precautions." I thought it unnecessary, so I added, "It's okay if you don't. I don't care." I thought I was being gentle and thoughtful enough, but Xiang's face darkened immediately. My friend beside me whispered, "Why aren't you angry?" I smiled calmly. "There's nothing to be angry about. HES just meeting a client." I used to rage and cry, but it never helped. And it cost me dearly. I couldn't afford to pay that price again. After dinner, Xiang waited for me at the door with his car. Looking at the long taxi queue, I didn't refuse and got into the back seat. The woman was indeed in the passenger seat. She turned around, smiling arrogantly. "Sorry, Mrs. Xiang. He pities me, so he let me sit here. Don't get the wrong idea." Xiang got into the driver's seat and explained casually, "Oh, it's just a seat. If you mind, I'll switch places with you." I shook my head gently. "It's okay, I understand. I have motion sickness patches. Would Miss Shin like one?" The car fell into silence, and rain began to fall outside. My friend texted to check on me. As I replied, I didn't notice Xiang gripping the steering wheel tightly. After a long while, he finally started the car. Shen Qiao said, "Let's take Mrs. Xiang home first. She lives nearby." Xiang and I spoke at the same time. "Okay." "No need." I immediately understood his intention and said quickly, "It's late and raining heavily. It's troublesome to drive back and forth. He'll just stay over. I've asked the maid to tidy the room." Before I finished, Xiang slammed on the brakes. The tires screeched against the ground. My foot hit the seat hard, but he just growled, "Get out." I knew HED misunderstood me and said no more. I took out my folding umbrella and got out. The heavy rain soaked me instantly. Xiang's car sped past, splashing water all over my pants. I stood in the rain and texted my friend for help. When my friend arrived and saw me soaking wet, she said angrily, "You deserve this." I forced a smile. King, thank you. I can't leave him, not because I love him, but because reality leaves me no choice. When I came out of the shower after drying off, Xiang was home. He sat on the sofa smoking, the room filled with smoke. The scene was exactly the same as the night before our divorce 3 years ago. HED smoked one after another, then handed me the divorce papers with a cold, determined look. I walked over and took the cigarette from his hand. "Don't smoke. It's bad for your health." Xiang looked up at me, his eyes complicated. I forced a smile. "I don't misunderstand you and Miss Shen. If you say she's a client, then she is. It's right that she sits in the passenger seat and me extra one. I won't make things difficult for her. If you want to bring her home, you can. If she's annoyed by me, I can move out." "Enough!" Xiang shouted, grabbing my wrist, his eyes red with anger. "If you're so generous, why don't you just give up your position as Mrs. Xiang?" I endured the pain and looked at him. "Will you stop paying for my mom's medicine if I do? If I step aside, will you still treat her?" "Xiang, I can give up everything. Just keep treating my mom." Xiang's pupils shrank. He shook me off and stood up, staring at me fiercely. After a moment, he laughed at himself, then held my hand and rubbed the red mark. "She's really just a client. I'm not lying to you. Yin, don't be jealous. I'm annoyed." I lowered my eyes and nodded gently. "Okay, I know." From that day on, Xiang seemed like a new man. He stopped staying out late, let me see him off in the morning, and kissed my forehead goodbye. He brought home flowers every night and kissed me, saying, "I missed you today." But I knew he spent his day shopping with Shen Qiao and relaxing at hot springs. He pretended to love me, and I played along. I never asked, never questioned. On Xiang's birthday, he said he'd take me to his ancestral home. When he picked me up that night, Xiang Kaya was still in the passenger seat. She looked at me proudly. Sorry, Mrs. Xiang. I get carsick. I said nothing and opened the back door, but Xiang Yi got out, opened the passenger door, and said coldly to Shen Qiao, "Get out. Either sit in the back or take a taxi." He guarded me into the passenger seat. Shen Qiao turned pale and finally got into the back. On the way, Xiang Yi handed me a gift box from my mom. Give it to her later. Shu Qiao immediately said it's an emerald necklace. I picked it with Mr. Xiang. It's beautiful, right? At the ancestral home? Xiang's mother adored Shen Qiao, holding her hand and chatting warmly. She didn't look at me once. I put the gift on the table from Xiang Yi. Miss Shen chose it. Xiang's mother finally glanced at me, picked up the box, and let Shen Qiao put it on. Snaring, you have such good taste. Unlike some people who have no taste or sense. Once, I would have left immediately. Now I just stood quietly, showing no reaction. Xiang Yi frowned for the first time. He noticed something was wrong, since it caught him with Shen Qiao at the restaurant. It'd been to calm to indifferent. That night, Xiang's mother deliberately arranged for Shen Qiao to stay next to our room. Drunk, Xiang Yi tried to get close to me. I pushed him away, called Shen Qiao over, and closed the door for them, leaving her shocked. I drove away from the ancestral home. 10 minutes later, Xiang Yi called, his voice tight with anger. What do you mean? The last time you got drunk, you called Miss Xian's name all night. I was just thinking of you in case it happens again. He wrote down the phone. I didn't call her this time. My voice was steady, I know. But what if you do? Phone was hung up roughly. Xiang Yi began to punish me. He completely disappeared from my life, blocked my calls, and openly accompanied Shen Qiao to events. News headlines were full of their love. He bought her rings, watched fireworks with her, kissed her tenderly. Soon, gossip about Shen Qiao spread online. Netizens exposed her as the other woman. The one who broke us up 3 years ago and who'd done it again after we reconciled. Everyone insulted her, sending threats and harassment. Xiang Yi called me immediately, forcing patience. Yin. It's all for work. Just for show. Don't take it seriously. Be good and delete those posts. Don't make things hard for me. I was used to his blame and said calmly, I didn't post them. I don't have the power to do that. Miss Shen is a public figure. Maybe she offended someone. Shen Qiao's crying came through the phone. Who hates me but you, Mrs. Xiang? I don't hate you, and I don't misunderstand you, I answered truthfully. She cried louder. I sighed and said to Xiang Yi just released fake news about me. If my scandals are worse, people will stop attacking Miss Shen. I don't mind. There was a moment of silence, then the call ended. When I checked my phone, all the negative posts were gone. Even news from 3 years ago had been erased. Money and power could fix everything. No one needed to sacrifice me. But soon, fake, explicit videos of me were leaked, filled with vicious insults. I turned off my phone and went to the hospital to see my mom as usual. Her hair had fallen out from illness, and her hand holding mine was thin and weak. Yin, did I drag you down? My face turned pale, but I forced calm. No, those are all fake. Don't believe them. My mom said nothing, just touched my face. When I returned to her room after consulting the doctor, my mom was sitting on the windowsill. She turned to me and smiled softly. Yin, Mom loves you. With that, she jumped. I froze, deaf to the world. My mom was dead. She died right in front of me. Xiang Yi arrived, handled the funeral for me, placed her ashes in my hands, and took me to the cemetery. It poured rain. He held my hand and explained softly the videos were AI- generated. I fixed everything. The people bullying you are gone. You can trust me. I calmly cut him off. Xiang Yi, let's get divorced. He stiffened but pretended not to hear. Planning our future, don't worry. I'm here. We can go to the south or abroad. You love painting, I'll send you to study. I stopped walking, took the umbrella from his hand, and stepped back. I'm going somewhere without you. Your guilt means nothing to me. I chose to remarry you, and I knew the consequences. I survived 3 years ago, and I can do it again. Xiang Yi looked at me. His voice hoarse. You only got back with me for your mom's treatment, didn't you? I nodded. When we first divorced, I thought I could manage alone, but the medical bills were too expensive. I couldn't afford them. Without money, my mom suffered so much she bit her lips bloody. She had to sleep in the hospital hallway. I worked part-minus time day and night, but still couldn't afford painkillers. No one would hire me because of my reputation. Your money let her live in a private room and get the best treatment. I was willing to sell myself to you. The rain fell harder. I handed him the umbrella and stepped back. The divorce papers are in the master bedroom dresser drawer. I already signed them. Goodbye, Xiang Yi. I turned and left, never looking back. Xiang Yi returned home soaked. The maid said I wouldn't be back. He found the divorce papers. It signed them the day after catching him with Shen Qiao. He made up my mind long ago. He wanted to sign, but his hand wouldn't move. For the first time, he felt the pain of loss. He held the torn papers and broke down crying on the floor. I sold Xiang Yi's car, took the money and moved to a small southern city. I rented a tiny apartment and picked up my paintbrush again. I took commissions online, drew comics, gained fans, signed with the studio, published books, and adapted stories into animation. Slowly, I built a life of my own. One day, I was recognized online, and my past was exposed again. But this time, I wasn't scared. I no longer depended on anyone. I had the courage and strength to face everything alone. The pain never went away, but I finally learned to live for myself. I was my own salvation.